Hey everyone, welcome to the program WRSA Radio. I am your host G1 as always. I hope you're having a good week. Couple of things before we get into the topic this week. First off, the website has been up and then down again. CA has been working to get a replacement in place. I believe he's working with Mike from the Cold Fury blog, and that Mike has been gracious enough to allow Pete to post things over on his blog for a few days while all this gets sorted out. I believe the plan is to have the same URL, the same link, just being hosted by a different provider, so it should look seamless to everyone out there, and the old link will still be good. But that remains to be seen. I believe that's the plan. Hopefully we'll be playing out and working by the time you see this video, or maybe tomorrow. But at any rate, keep watching over on Gab to see those updates. And speaking of Gab, a while back we talked about Gab making some changes that impacted user engagement. I will not go into those deeply, as it seems to be a pain point for some people, and my view on it resulted in some folks apparently stopping their viewership of the show. Whatever, a disagreement, that's fine. So be it. I won't get into that. Anyway, I would like to note, however, that last week Turbo kind of quietly backed off those changes and reversed them. And then he said that this is the plan the whole time, guys. Really, seriously, I meant to do that. I'll leave that for you to judge. But looking at how slow the site had been in terms of activity with at least with the people that I engaged with, I don't buy that. But that's me. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll see how that all plays out in the end. It is what it is, and the end result is that Gab is basically back to its prior usability with regard to posting media, so go back and enjoy it while it lasts, because who knows what the future will bring. Still come see me over there, and Nice Crew as well, since I'm posting there too, and come see Concerned American over there as well. He's posting the stuff from the Mothership blog over there on his Gab page too. Okay, moving on. This has been a week of, absolute betrayal and backstabbing from our political establishment, particularly Congress. And that's what we're going to get into today. A couple of areas that we're going to focus on, because while you've likely heard about these things, you may not have heard maybe the counter position to these events. I suspect that most of you likely have a similar outlook to myself on these things, but that's okay. That's okay. Use the show. Sometimes the show's not necessarily for you directly. It's for you to pass on to your less informed friends. So anyway, let's dive in. This past week we saw Congress stab us in the back at least twice. It was a double homicide of the U.S. taxpayer and citizen. They voted to extend the warrantless monitoring of our media and communications under the FISA Act, which was renewed in a contested vote late in the evening, because, the most moral and upstanding things are done under the cover of darkness. This was perpetrated by the Speaker of the House, Mike Judas Johnson. Johnson claims that he saw a classified briefing that changed his mind about FISA, and therefore he had to vote in favor of it. It showed him the importance of having that in place. Well, one has to ponder exactly what he saw in that meeting. Was it perhaps that members of Congress were shown, I don't know, maybe their own communications? Maybe the intel communities and the FBI went in there and showed them all the text messages that they've sent to their dominatrix girlfriends or boyfriends? Maybe it was just row after row of pictures taken from their cell phones of them in compromised positions, or, the pictures that they've sent to their side chicks. I don't know. Maybe that was what was so convincing to them. So, to so cheaply throw away our rights. This is one of the ways the deep state stays in power, and you gave them the legal justification and cover for what they were doing. They were going to do it anyway, even if you didn't approve this extension, but now they have your stamp of approval on it, and challenges to this will have to go to the courts to work it all out. And that means many, many people are going to go to jail until this is fixed. It's ridiculous. And that's betrayal number one, and it's a big one, make no mistake about it. Like I said, they were... The intel agencies, they were going to do this anyway, the FBI, but at least if it's technically illegal, they have to make the case in some other fashion. And that information is not legally allowed to be used against you in court. Now, betrayal number 2, this is the vote that authorized the people controlling the president to send yet more money to Ukraine and Israel, resulting in perhaps, I think it's the most disgusting display of treachery on the floor of the House that we've ever seen. These people have the nerve to talk about January 6th being an insurrection, and they get on the floor and wave enthusiastically Ukrainian flags when they send billions of dollars of our tax money to them. It's pathetic. Again, this vote was made possible by Judas Johnson, who set forth the conditions by which enough Republicans joined the Democrats to get this bill over to the Senate, where it passed with ease and was approved by the people controlling the president. So more of your hard-earned taxpayer dollars, billions of dollars for Ukraine and billions of dollars for Israel, and not a dime on our border. We can't continue to survive like this. At this point, it should be perfectly clear to anyone with eyes what is happening here. Even the most normie observer who pays more attention to sports ball and entertainment and only casually observes world events can see what is happening. I see this in my interactions with people, by the way, my normie friends. People who are normally quiet on politics are making comments, and they're liking posts that call out the disparity in representation. Even normies who have in the past said things like, we have to help these people, they're refugees. They've noticed that there's no limit and no end to the line of people pouring into this country. They've come to understand that we can't pay for them all. We don't have the money for this. This is particularly glaring when we all just filled out our taxes. If you paid even a small amount of taxes this year, then you're asking yourself, what am I getting for this money? Because I'm having a hard time paying for groceries and gas, and these people have opened the doors to everyone in the world to come here on a free ride and given billions of dollars to a nation that's losing a war and another nation that is committing genocide. Yeah, your tax dollars at work, America. Our money is buying us enemies all over the world because the people who are chosen to represent us don't. They are not up there doing the work of the U.S. taxpayer. They are working for themselves. They are working for Israel. They are working for the deep state, which is the military-industrial complex and the intelligence-industrial complex and the lawfare-industrial complex. We are nothing but a herd of cattle to be milked and slaughtered. We are the fat of the land that they are living off of. And as if that wasn't enough, the very same group of people have lectured us this week about what is acceptable forms of dissent. The victim mobs of college kids have once again hit the protest circuit this week to bring disruption to campuses and city streets all across the country. They are protesting the actions of Israel and effectively supporting Hamas on their parents' dime. Well, We can't have that now, can we? No, no, sir. Can't be critical of Israel, our most trusted and sacred ally. These same people who have devastated, they've devastated our seed corn and shipped it off to foreign hands, are now telling us that it's un-American to be critical of one of those hands. It's anti-Semitic and un-Christian to demand that Israel stop bombing women and children in Gaza. And the fact that they can say this with a straight face and go so far as to suggest that these kids be expelled or even prosecuted for simply being critical is mind-blowing. I don't know how they can act so well. It's Oscar-worthy. And I don't have anything necessarily good to say about these protesters. They're idiots too. But this is ridiculous. Now some of you may be saying, well, I support Israel because of the Islamic terrorists. That's fine. We can disagree with that, or to some extent, I don't disagree with you. I have no affinity for the Islamic terrorists, that's for sure. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole though, because I think we covered that last week. But suffice it to say, we can be critical of Israel and not be approving of Hamas. To suggest that disapproval of one is approval of the other is disingenuous. But that is exactly what we're being told by these politicians, that we are evil people if we don't support Israel and give them billions of dollars to blow up hospitals and potentially start World War III, because they don't seem to have listened to the warnings that we talked about last week. That potential is still out there. It's calmed down this week, but you never know with them. They could launch an attack tomorrow and ramp things right back up. But to hell with them and their feigned outrage and false indignation. It's vapor. It's a thin veneer of truth that blows away with even the most casual observance. They're all fake. They have no credibility. They don't have the moral high horse to sit atop and cast their accusations down on us to blame us for their traitorous behavior. They're like that abuser who tells their victim that everything's their fault. I wouldn't hurt you if you didn't force me to. That's exactly what they're like. They've beaten my bank account like a rented mule for years, and I'm supposed to just take it because my chosen people or something. I don't know. I'm not going to be silent about that, okay? We are supposed to just accept this while Judas Johnson goes to a college campus and tells the kids that they are horrible anti-Semites for making Jewish kids uncomfortable at school. They're more than willing to roll out that very same lawfare apparatus to direct it against these kids to defend the chosen people. But when the tables are turned and it's some poor white kid that's drawn the evil eye from a 400-pound blue-haired land whale, well, too bad, kid, you're on your own. We'll stand here and we'll send you thoughts and prayers for, who knows, my First Amendment, while you get crushed by the wheels of justice. These are the people that are supposed to be on our side. These are the people that the people on our side think are going to save us. Mike Johnson, Ted Cruz, Ron DeSantis, and a host of others who will bend the knee as soon as Israel tells them to, and they will throw us under the bus. They are not saving anything. They are certainly not our friends. I got to tell you, folks, you don't hate them enough. We don't hate them enough. That's all I got the stomach for this week. I apologize for some of the distraction sounds in the background. Stuff's going on here at the house. But anyway, like and subscribe. Come see us over on Gab. Nice crew. And eventually the mothership will be back up again. And I will see you on the next episode.